Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Better Than Yesterday podcast. I'm your host, Jenna Cosentino, and today's episode is simple but might be one of the most powerful habits that I have built and implemented into my life. It has been just life-changing, honestly. That may sound a little dramatic, but I am dramatic. We are talking about the power of a 45-minute walk and a podcast or an audiobook, whatever. This habit has helped me heal, grow, think clearer. It sparks my creativity and it just levels up my life so much. And I don't think people understand the importance of walks in general. And then you throw a podcast in there, or like I said, an audiobook or an activation like I listen to, probably more than podcasts, but it just truly has changed my life. And I can't wait to share all my knowledge and tips in this episode because I just wish everybody would do this because it's just crazy how it will change your life in so many positive ways. One of my favorite parts about walking with a podcast is that you have the opportunity to learn something new or get a different perspective on things. You're habit stacking and you're moving your body and expanding your mind. 45 minutes doesn't seem like a very long time, and the only reason I landed on 45 minutes is because when I did 75 hard, that is one of the requirements is the outdoor walk or outdoor workout, and it has to be at least 45 minutes. So whenever I started 75 hard is truly when I started seeing how significant just a walk outside does for you. 45 minutes does not seem like a long time. If you live in Wilmington, I can get the loop done in like 45, 43 minutes, just depending on how fast I'm trucking it, you know? And if you add that up, that is equivalent to like over 5 hours a week that you are out walking and 5 hours that you're learning something new. Imagine what happens if you consistently spend 5 hours a week learning about mindset, business, health, relationships, discipline, confidence, anything that your little heart desires. It will start shifting your energy and you will start expanding your mind and learning different perspectives and learning different habits and like things, positive things that will change the way that you live your life. I don't think, again, people realize how important walking is. And I think people think when they have to go do cardio, it has to be like a 5-mile run. And that is so incorrect. Running does have a lot of benefits, but if you don't like running, get yourself out on a walk. Like, you don't have to go crazy and have this crazy intense workout. Like, go for a leisurely walk. Walking, it regulates your nervous system. And being outside, it lowers your stress levels, it reduces anxiety, it helps with depression or all of that kind of stuff. One thing I like about the combo is when you're listening to a podcast, like sometimes you're out on this walk and your mind is moving 5 million miles an hour. Maybe you just got out of work or whatever, and you're tuned into this podcast and like something just hits super hard. Like something that you didn't know that would articulate feelings that you've had, or it just can spark something, and then you start reflecting and you start tapping into that like inner work that walking heals. The next is the connection with yourself that happens. We live in a world where we're constantly stimulated. You're on your phone, scrolling, texting, which then leads to comparison and yada, yada, yada. It's a big rabbit hole we all know about. But what I like about it is when we're walking, or when I'm walking, you're walking with intention. You're not on your phone. You're not scrolling on social media. You are not staring at a computer screen. It's just you, your thoughts. It becomes a moving meditation. And that's why I like using or listening to activations. I know I've spoke about these on this podcast before. Um, if you don't want to commit to the activation app, you do get like a 14-day free trial or something, but she does have a book, Mimi Bouchard, and it's Activate Your Future Self, and she goes through what activations are. I never have really been into meditating. I've tried like the past few months, I have really tried to sit down in the morning and just like listen to a meditation, and I just like cannot tune into it for some reason. I can't shut my brain off. I know it will happen like in time, but um activations, they're like a different type of meditation, and you don't need to be like completely zoned out, tuned out to have these things actually work. And there's activations on manifestation, on creativity, on affirmations and gratitude and so many different things, and some of them are short, some of them are long. So I listen to multiple when I'm on my walks, and I have like a good playlist, and they just truly help me get out of my head. They spark the future self in me and helps me tune into the higher version of myself and the version that I'm trying to become and the habits that I need to build to become this person. Like truly, I listen to those more than I do a podcast on a walk. But obviously if you're not into activations or anything, listen to a podcast or also an audiobook. A great audiobook is The Secret. Who's that by? I hope I'm going in order. My dad, hey dad, if you're listening, said I need to organize my podcast better because it's kind of all over the place. The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and it's all about like the law of attraction and stuff, and um that audiobook is kind of crazy. So if you want to learn something, tune into that book because your mind will be blown. The walks, they become your daily check-in. And for me, they become my daily check-in. They help me stay sane. The next is probably the most obvious, and that's just leveling up your fitness routine. And walking, like I said, it's different than running. It's low impact. It helps recovery. It improves your cardiovascular health. It supports fat loss. And it increases your daily movement and your steps, especially like if you lift weights. Walking is a great recovery movement that you can do. That's one thing, like if I need a break from the gym for a couple of days, or if I'm super sore, you just get out there and that movement just breaks up the soreness and helps with the recovery and just helps you bounce back faster. If you're just starting your fitness journey, walking, it builds consistency without being so intimidated. Learning the importance of walking, and it has a lot more benefits than running, honestly. And just take that into account that you don't need to destroy yourself and push yourself out of your comfort zone, and you have to push yourself out of the comfort zone. But I mean, like so uncomfortable that it's so intimidating that you avoid it and you don't want to do it. Every single day, you don't have to commit to 45 minutes. Just do 15, 20 minutes around your neighborhood, or if you're at work, take a break from your computer for a second and go for a loop around the building or something like that. I'm a big proponent that if you have people that smoke in your office, they are outside probably a good 15, 20 minutes every hour, and that adds up. So you can take yourself a little break and go for a walk outside when you're on the clock. The powerful combination of mind and body. This is where it's the secret sauce to this whole thing. This is where it becomes different. It's not just we're doing it for weight loss, we're doing it for fat loss. You're building a belief, your body is moving, your mind is expanding, you're learning new things, your perspective is shifting, And that combination is so freaking powerful. And I get done with my walks and I am just on top of the world. Like, I could move mountains when I'm done with these activation walks that I'm doing. And you feel just so accomplished. You've learned something, you've moved your body, and you just showed up for yourself. That's the biggest thing, is just showing up for yourself. It sparks creativity. There is just something about being outside. I think it's because I'm not in front of my screen or my phone and with so many distractions. It just sparks my creativity like crazy. I have my best ideas on a walk. You should see my notes app. It's kind of a shit show, but there's so many good things happening in there. The ideas, they flow easier. You are able to solve some problems. Business ideas, they start to connect, or if you're trying to come up with something, sometimes something will spark an idea and that will lead you to whatever it is that you're needing help with or looking for. Your life decisions feel clearer. You are level headed. Movement creates momentum physically and mentally. And lastly, and probably the most obvious, but it's a break from your screen. We are in front of a screen. I'm in front of like 3 screens right now to record this podcast. I have my computer, I have my camera, and I have my phone to record for social media. You are just in front of screens all day. At work, you're in front of a screen. At your computer, at your desk, you go into a meeting, there's a giant fucking screen on the wall. Your TV, you come home, you're looking at that. You are just surrounded by screen time all day, every day. We get overstimulated by it. We scroll first thing in the morning, which, okay, I used to be really good about not being on my phone in the morning. And lately, I have just been picking up that damn phone and scrolling on social media. We scroll first thing in the morning. We scroll before we go to bed. We scroll when we're bored. A walk with a podcast is intentional input. It's not doom scrolling. It's not comparison. It's not mindless consumption. It's basically a reset button for your nervous system. One of the biggest excuses I hear is, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time for this. Or I worked out in the morning, or I work out after work. I don't have time to go on another walk or whatever. I want to slap them across the face and be like, yes, you have time. You have more than enough freaking time in the day. Here are some different day structures that I have that I can fit in everything during the day. So, my normal routine, I wake up in the morning, probably an hour before I leave for the gym. I go to gym, I work out for 45 minutes to an hour, come home, get ready for work, go to work. I'm lucky enough I get an hour for lunch, and I could totally walk around my office, but the loop on Wrightsville Beach is like a 5-10 minute drive from my office. I don't even want to say it's 10 minutes, but sometimes lunchtime the traffic is crazy. But so get there, do my 45-minute walk, I come back, and right now the temperature is great because it's not so hot out that I'm not sweating or gross like when I have to go back to work. Go for a walk on my lunch break, come back for work, and I finish the day. That leaves, I get out of work at 5. I have from 5 to, call it 8:30, 9 o'clock to do whatever. You know what I mean? That's one routine that you could do. Next is in the mornings. Sometimes my boyfriend and I wouldn't walk this by myself. In the morning when it's still dark out, because we get out there at like 6:40 or 5:45. So we do a nice 45-minute loop walk in the morning some mornings. Then I come back, I get ready for work, I go to work, and either I do another walk if I'm feeling ambitious, then I get out of work and maybe I'll hit the gym, maybe I'll just use that as a rest time and just go home. Or lastly, which we'll probably start doing when it stays lighter for longer, and that's get up in the morning, go to the gym, go to work, don't need to repeat that, and then after work, now that it's warm out, it's light out, I could come home, get Benny, meet my boyfriend down at the loop, or meet a friend down at the loop, and do a walk there. I know I said this is really about like podcasts and a walk, but I love when my boyfriend and I go out on a walk together because we're both not on our phones, we're not distracted, and we're just having really meaningful and intentional time together, which I really cherish, even though it's only like 45 minutes. But we are able to talk about our day or the things that we're having that's going on, or things that we're dealing with, and or just like having fun conversation. And it's one of my favorite things to do with Rob. And first couple of dates, we did loop walks. And again, that's a great way to, if you're dating, a great way to connect to somebody. You don't have the intensity of committing to getting drinks or committing to dinner, or, I mean, you could get a coffee, but it's a great place to learn about somebody and connect with somebody. If you have good intentional conversation, it's truly another like life-changing moment or really good positive thing that you can implement in your day. Why I like to go for my walks like in the middle of my workday, because I'm staring at a screen all day. If you could honestly get out, and like I said, doesn't have to be 45 minutes. If you could get out sometime during the day, just get a break from work and reality for a second, you, I bet, will start seeing a change in your mood, your energy levels, your habits. Like you will start seeing a change 100%. Here's what I want you guys to do. I want, for maybe the next week or for the next couple of days, commit to at least one 45-minute walk. Pick an intentional podcast, audiobook, or if you're interested in the activations, and just walk and listen to your body, listen to your body. If thoughts come up, think about those and acknowledge them and work through it if you need to. Get out there and walk with somebody who you want to have good intentional conversation with and learn something new about them, or learn something new about yourself, things that you didn't know that you enjoyed, or things that you want to try. Commit to one 45-minute walk. See if you can start incorporating that into your routine every day, or at least like 3 days a week. See if you can add more walks into your daily activities. I am very grateful for everybody who has taken the time to listen to this, but I'm kind of coming up with the next run of episodes, and I kind of want to transition out of the it girl energy and kind of get more business mindset focused and talk about some different topics that I haven't talked about on here. I would like to get some guests on the podcast. I have a few brewing that will probably happen sometime in March, so stay tuned for that. Let me know if you guys listen to this episode, or tag me when you are on your hot girl walk. Maybe you're on your hot girl walk when you're listening to this podcast episode. Have a great week, a great day, a great month. As always, let's focus on becoming better than yesterday. I will talk to you guys.